Hello, it's John Flynn. Thank you for checking out my review of Offline Jailbreak. And first, I just want to say the title of the course is very clever, and it's a really good hook for answering the question if you had no prior experience in offline marketing, but you needed to succeed right away, what would you do? And any of us who've been doing, offline for a while get asked this in one way or another. What's the best way in? What methods have the fastest results? And so on. So packaging it with that jailbreak hook, well, that's very clever and something to remember when you sit down to create your first product. So that's kind of a cool thing there. But likewise, the product itself, does not have a bunch of useless filler. It's 5 PDFs. There are no videos. You may have seen other inside the member area reviews, and you might see this window that looks like a video window, but it's not. And so it's actually just a copy of the PDF embedded on the page, which in and of itself is pretty cool, but it looks like a video interface, but it's not a video. And yes, you can download the PDFs, no problem. Okay, so the course is laid out in 5 modules. Each one is about 15 to about 22, 23 pages. I'm not going to give away the contents of the course, okay? But I do want to answer the proposition that the sales page makes. And it basically makes the claim that it's possible to get clients in hours after picking up this course. And so based on the course, that's what I'm going to answer. Is it possible to get clients in hours? Well, yes, it's possible, okay? Getting clients fast depends essentially on 3 things. How motivated the client is by the pain that they are feeling and having the right offer before them, and then liking and trusting you enough to move forward. So the logical thing to do would be to research their pain and show it to them, and then structure the offer so that it's a no-brainer for them to say yes. Now, these are not new concepts. This is sort of like selling 101, and in fact, I've covered them quite a bit in my own training, in my own mastermind. But the other element of success, being likable and trustworthy, is something that can't really be taught. You can do certain things to be likable or convey an expertise or a level of integrity where someone will trust you and want to work with you. And that's essential for any kind of consulting relationship with a client. And it's very similar to becoming likable with anybody in your life. So if you're a people person, this comes naturally. If you're not, then that's a skill that you would need to learn if you're in offline consulting. The bigger problem is getting in front of the clients so that you can exhibit these qualities, present them with their pain, and then offer them a solution. And so the question is, does offline jailbreak show you how to get in front of clients? So let's just kind of break into the different methods that the course talks about. I'll do this in as much detail as I can without giving anything away that's proprietary within the course. Okay, so method number 1 of contacting clients, is it effective? Yes, it can be if the right nuances are followed. Are you already familiar with this method? Yes. If you've been in an offline for any length of time, it's one of the most talked about methods, and previous WSOs have been created around it. In fact, even software has been offered to automate this process. However, what I really like about offline jailbreak is the tip that he gives you on page 17 that by itself builds likability and trust and will separate you from most people who are doing this same technique. And it's one of those successful nuances I mentioned a moment ago. There was another tip on page 21 that, some people may think is a bit cheeky. You may not feel comfortable doing it. And I would say if you cannot complete this part of the process without being 100% sincere, then move on to the next business. That's probably not a client that you would want to work with insofar as this method lays out. So the other thing I will say about this is that there is a time investment in this, and it does require some effort for it to pay off. But that's just like anything else in life. This is not one of those push button methods or anything like that. You have to put some time in on it. There's a little bit of research involved, and then there's time invested in the process itself. So method number 2. Okay, this one is kind of about getting past the gatekeeper. Building on what you did in method number 1, this uses proof to build your authority and credibility in the prospect's mind. So you're going to need to contact the business, but it's a fairly low stress method that's laid out, and they provide a phone script. They basically provide what to do if you decide to walk in, and there's also an email method if you prefer that way to do it. So yes, you do have to talk to offline business owners, especially if you intend to do this for a living. There's really no way around that. And if that's a really big stumbling block for you, then you probably want to consider a different area of online marketing. But with offline, you pretty much have to talk to people. There's also a reverse or negative version of the first method, and I won't get into it too much, but if you can think of exploiting the business owner's pain point, what's the most painful thing to any business owner? And just to give you a hint, it's not being on page 2 of Google or having a poorly converting website. Okay, much more basic than that. Every business owner, needs customers, and customers don't do business if there are a lot of complaints. So you can see kind of where this method is going, and it's a high converting area to be sure. So that's kind of all I can say about that. But you kind of see where I'm going with that as far as what this method has to do with. Method number 3 is a method of giving something away to gain a business owner's trust. And I haven't seen it talked about exactly like this, and it sort of combines one of my least favorite prospecting methods with a twist that's designed to make the business owner feel obliged to talk to you. And there is, however, a minimum of 24 hours to make this method work as the course presents it. So there's a little bit of a time involvement again with this. It doesn't take any time to create the method and to basically show it to the business owner. And that's really all I can say as far as how you would show it to the business owner. But then there's a delay while you wait for their response and while you follow up. Okay? So method number 4, this is a method I like because it's coming at a business owner in a non-typical way. And there's a specific angle that's discussed in the course, but you really could bend this to be just about anything. Okay? The key is to be different and not approach the business as selling anything. And then if you can align yourself with a common cause, and you may have a client doing that, or at least a potential ally in the community. And either way, it's not a bad thing. So this method is effective. I don't know that I would do it exactly in the way that the course lays out. I'm not really totally behind that, but there are ways that you could easily bend this to make it work. Okay? Okay, so now there is also an upsell in Offline Jailbreak. It's basically a PLR offer. It complements one of the methods laid out in the course. The cost of the upsell is about $40. It's 10 niche videos for prospecting, 5 reports, and 5 landing pages. The offer video for the upsell does not detail the niches covered. It does not provide examples or a look at anything. And so I cannot recommend or not recommend based on the quality because I did not purchase this. I've got plenty of PLR, and it really didn't make a compelling argument on why I needed this particular PLR. So aside from the upsell, do I think the methods laid out are effective? Yes. I do many of these myself, and if you're a member of my mastermind, you have heard me talk about these. There are some nuances here that I like quite a bit, so this definitely gets a recommend from me. But as with anything, if you can fit this into your business right now and take action immediately, then I encourage you to purchase it. Otherwise, stick with your current plan and keep moving forward. Thanks so much. Again, this is John Flynn with a review of Offline Jailbreak. I hope this was helpful, and have a great day.